Agreement Fund Oversight meeting. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Chambers Armstrong, Senator Herron, Senator Reed,
Here.
Senator Richardson, Senator Webb, Representative Pfister,
Here.
Representative Hancock, Representative King,
Present.
Representative McPherson,
Here.
Representative Works,
Here.
Representative Dossett,
Present.
Chair Howell,
Here.
and Co-Chair Pollock.
Thank you. We have a quorum. First thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the June 12th meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Representative Pfister.
Second.
Second by Representative McPherson. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. The minutes are approved. First and last on the agenda today, we have Brandon Reed and Frugal Bill McCloskey with the Agricultural Development Board here to present.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members of the Tobacco Oversight Committee. You stole my thunder. I mean, I was going to lead with that, but if anybody attended, if you want to know what Chairman Howe's talking about, we had a very good meeting of the Joint Committee on Agriculture earlier this morning, and one of our projects was on the agenda. And during that project presentation, my right-hand man, his name got brought up several times. The nicest definition, I think, was frugal. Mm-hmm. But no, it was just a good testimony of what the fund has done the last 25 years, and just goes that you're so famous going throughout the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Everybody knows that you take care of those funds, and everybody appreciates that. We're just going to start here with our June report and just take a minute. We had a very special meeting. Kind of goes along with what I say with the last 25 years. Making an impact the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Last month, we started with our one-year celebration of the 25th silver anniversary of the Office of Ag Policy, the Ag Development Fund. So we had a joint meeting of the Ag Development Board and the Ag Finance Corporation. We had it at the History Center in downtown Frankfort because that's where the first board meeting was held 25 years ago. So we kind of wanted to copy that historical precedent there, but just a wonderful meeting. The pictures that you can see is there on the top left is Brian. Are you okay? So Brian was there, Mr. Lacefield, and myself, and just a host of past executive directors going back to the very beginning. So we had a panel just kind of highlighting those years. It was a very special panel, Brian. I think it was a very unique. I think everybody enjoyed themselves, so that was a very special panel. Everybody kind of gave a highlight, their interpretation, the passion that they had, the blessings that they saw during their tenure as executive director of the fund. There on the bottom left is Commissioner Billy Ray Smith. He was there, 25 years ago when House Bill 611 was being passed by the legislature. He was the Commissioner of Agriculture, played a very crucial role and making sure that got across the finish line with at least 50% of the funds going towards agriculture. And of course, we know that to be the reality today, and we appreciate you all, the General Assembly, to making sure that's a priority in every single budget session. We really appreciate that. Wonderful crowd. I just want to thank our staff, especially this lady here on my left, Hannah. It was a lot to put everything together, but we had all kinds of staff that helped with that. And truly appreciate that. But we had a wonderful lunch. We had a wonderful joint committee board meeting, as you can see there on the bottom right. You had both boards sitting there, seeing each other's agenda and hearing that. But if you can't see it, but the crowd behind us was full. We had a huge crowd that day to celebrate. And then, of course, top right is the man, the hour himself. My right hand, one of my good friends, is Bill McCloskey, explaining something that day to someone that had a question. But just overall, just a really good day, really good celebration. We do have a token of appreciation that we'd like to present to you all. We'll give that to you all. We'll give it to the staff to hand out to you all. But it's just a small token of our appreciation to celebrate the 25 years of the Office of Ag Policy. And we hope you enjoy it and hope you display it in your offices. It's very special to us. Hope it be very special to you all. So thank you all. And as always, speaking of our staff, we have a wonderful staff. That is our new staff photo that you all will see in the upcoming annual report, that our interns are help getting that together and our staff has helped getting that together. But we took our staff photo there on the front steps of the Kentucky Historical Society. And then when you see in the annual report, you'll see both boards, and they'll be taking, they took their pictures inside. So we just kind of want to highlight the History Society and then how we started there with our meetings. And so that's why we had our anniversary. But that's our new staff photo. Bill and I will be, we're going to be looking at some applications. We got a couple of positions to fill. So we're going to be doing that next month or so. But we're excited to get those on board and get those individuals trained up so we can get this money out the door in the most responsible way. But I never want to miss opportunity to just tell our staff how much I appreciate them. I know how much Bill appreciates them. All the work they do for the Commonwealth of Kentucky is second to none for agriculture. So thank you all. So for June, we had a tremendous month. What a month to celebrate 25 years, silver anniversary. Our Ag Development Board approved about $3.3 million. And our Ag Finance Board approved about $5 million in loans. And there's some highlights of June from our staff. As you can see, 2 staff members attended competitive leadership programs. Our interns conducted 10 interviews leading up to the annual report. We attended 22 ag councils across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. We had 27 site visits, 17 programs closed out, and 17 project reports received. And just a small update, by statute, our county councils have to do a comprehensive plan every year, and we're over 90 now, aren't we?
Right, yeah, 97, I think
We're up to about 97 comprehensive plans, so those are getting closed out and getting turned into us. So we appreciate that. That's by statute, and so it's very critical that they get those done. So we're almost complete with our 120 reports. And then that's just kind of a general breakdown of the Ag Development Board approvals and the Ag Finance approvals. As you can see, the different programs and projects that we have. And then moving on to what you all like is Bill and Brandon's top picks. I'm going to turn it over to my good friend Bill as he goes over some of these projects. You can follow along there in your packet, page 14, 17, and 18. Of course, if you have any questions, we'll answer those at the end of the presentation. Thank you all.
Okay, as Brandon said, on page 14, we've got the food chain. I made a request, and you'll notice under their funding request, they indicated they were asking for $75,822 in state money and $75,000 multi-county. So they understand how the Ag Development Board investment philosophy of a lot of projects that are county or multi-county projects will require county money to match state, and that's because they've received funds in the past. So they got a history, the food chain organization going back to 2011. So they've got a body of work working with in the West 6th Street area with a demonstration kitchen in the facilities there, in what used to be a bakery. The building was a 100-year-old bakery, so they renovated it, and they have, as part of their project there, is a what they call it, an agroponics system that includes aquaponics, which is fish, and then hydroponics, which is growing plants. So it's a enclosed system where the waste of the fish or the nutrients for the plants or the greens, and then the greens filter the water in a closed system for the fish. So that's a project they've had available several years, processing those products and making them available. So now, to date, they've purchased, reaching out, working with Kentucky farmers in 47 counties, being able to market products up to $300,000. So they want to grow it and now establish a grocery in a building adjoining the facilities where they are, rent the facilities, and then again expand a grocery and continue to market Kentucky products. And they would like to increase their sales up to $1 million eventually. So part of that request was $150,000 of a $300,000 project. 1/3 of that was staffing, and the board cut that part of it out. So we just want to focus all in equipment and improvements. So you can see they were approved for $45,643 in county money being matched by state money for that project. Any questions? We'll move on to page 17. So we got the Miller Rockbridge Farms LLC requested $37,402 in state funds and $15,000 in Monroe County funds. It was to construct a 100 by 180 barn to do an education program. These type of projects, the Ag Development Board will usually, because it just benefit in the individual farmer infrastructure on the farm, we're normally going to limit it to county money. So you can see that the board's recommendation or approval was $52,402 in county money. In other words, any county that they approached, their county council, Senator Webb, any county funds committed to the project would be approved as county money, not including state money. And of course, these type of projects usually will make a request to the Kentucky Agriculture Finance Corporation as a participation loan. And then next we've got page 18. It's the Thompson Family Farm LLC requested $13,840 in Mercer County. Representative King, I think that's your district. So to set up a buying station, so the Thompson family has experience in the agriculture production, and they wanted to establish a buying station. And the cost of a small scale buying station was only going to be $26,000. So they were approved for half of the cost of it, $13,840. So you might ask, what is a buying station relative to a stockyard? So we do have 34 stockyards here in the state and 10 buying stations. The difference is on a buying station like this example, they will actually take physical ownership of the livestock and then resell it and offer it either another market or to processors. Where stockyards are establishing sale dates where they have buyers come in and bid on the livestock. So that's the difference. Now in this example, you might ask, how are they regulated? Well, the Office of Veterinary, State Office of Veterinary does regulate. There's an application process that the applicant submitted, and then they also have the USDA Packers and Stockyards division that also oversees, has an application process. So they're monitoring the sales and then making sure that the operation has sufficient bonding to cover the sales in the event that there's an issue. So this applicant went through all that process, and we have that documented.
Thank you, Bill. And I just want to bring y'all's attention to, we just received it. We'll try to put it in next month's board book. We're going to let our board look at it, and then we'll put it in the packet. But every year we're audited by the auditor's office, and we got another clean report. Very happy with, of course, our finance officer, Mr. Bill Hearn, and then, of course, our staff that has to do with those operations as well. We appreciate their hard work and his hard work, but we'll give you that report. We'll try to put it in this packet for next month, but we just received it about a week ago, and we're going to let our board look at it, but we're really proud of that. So another clean audit by them. So thank you all. Mr. Chairman, that concludes our presentation. 15 minutes flat, sir.
Representative King, I believe, has a question.
Thank you once again for another inspiring report. We always look forward to hearing from you. My dear friend Brandon used a phrase I don't think I have heard in my many years of serving on this committee, and it's the comprehensive reports. And in your remarks, you referenced 120. So are those almost like an audit or a review report from each of the counties coming back to you?
So
I would like to learn a little bit more about that. I need to learn about that.
Absolutely. So in House Bill 611, you all know the structure is set up. There's an Ag Development Board, State Board, and then there's a structure set out of county councils in each 120 counties. And one of the statutory obligations of those county councils is they set up a comprehensive plan detail, basically depicting on how they want to spend their local money prioritize-wise in their local communities. So when projects come to them, that county council, they supposed to guide that against their comprehensive plan, what they want to do locally and how that interprets to how they fund their projects. So every they go over there was in what 5?
Yeah, every 5 years. The history of it, the Ag Development Board required in the early days back in 2001 for any county to receive their funds, they had to develop a comprehensive plan using the SWOT method, as we know, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So we ask them to do that every 5 years, and they should use that comprehensive plan to measure any application that they receive, and if it lines up with their county comprehensive plan, then they might commit some money to the project, as we indicated earlier. If not, then most likely they're not going to commit money to the project again if it's not lining up with their comprehensive plan.
So this is that next 5-year cycle this year. So all those are coming in. In fact, as those are uploaded, we upload those on our website. So you can go on there and you can look on the last comprehensive plan that your county had, and then the one coming up. As soon as they get them in, we'll process them and do compliance on them. We'll put them on our website again, and so everybody can look at every county council plan throughout the state.
Well, thank you all for
ma'am.
teaching me about that term, and I think that's one more aspect that made the original House Bill 611 so genius, is that pre-planning and setting priorities locally is, such a great idea. Thank you for teaching me about that.
And just kind of let you know, one of the main agenda items that we had during last year's joint board meeting is we have ever so often we do a comprehensive plan ourselves statewide. We actually hired out a third-party vendor to look at that. We, Ag Development Board, paid for some of that. In the last budget, you all helped pay for some of that. So that's coming to conclusion. That report is being finalized as we speak, and then our board will look at that. So we kind of had a highlight at the last board meeting of some of the provisions, kind of like where we have been, where we are now, where they would like us to go. And so we started that conversation with the board meeting last time, and then our board will dive through that in the next several months, and our staff will have recommendations based off that report. So that's coming all this year. So it's exciting times. Yes, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Representative McPherson?
Yes, so I just want to make a few comments and discuss, so I'm going to beat Senator Webb to the punch. She says I'm as old as she is, and she said I was on that original plan when we did that in Allen County, and I think, Bill, you can remember, that was some of the hardest things we had to decide for the county. What was going to be the priorities for this money and how we were going to use them. But I think anybody that wants to be successful in any business or anything in life, young people or whoever it might be, sit down and purposely decide where you want to go. Sit down and budget. Sit down and see what your priorities are. It always says your money will follow your heart. So decide what each, and I think that is to Representative Kim's point, that you did divide it up into the 120 and didn't say that this was going to be, that they were going to spread it over like peanut butter and everything was going to be the same in every county, because we have a very diverse state, and this diverse state needs diversification of agriculture, and that's what this money was for, to leave the dependence on tobacco and to be able to diversify. And I'm so proud of the fact that we have now coming back and having businesses that you all have funded earlier and are coming back and expanding. That shows the strength of this. And I would say to you, Bill, I don't know if we'll get you out of the building today, your head's going to get big on us, but it is very much to your credit and the credit of the people around you that in government, this doesn't happen very often, that a program lasts 25 years and is being celebrated as being so successful. And the reason it is because of all these attributes of frugal and tight and whatever it might be. But you have been very responsible with the money, and the money has come back as our former Vice Chair AR here, we want rate of return, and we've had great rate of return on this money, and it has been such a model to the state, to other states, to the nation, and I think we could use it to model a lot of other state programs, if we would, on how we should run programs and how we should be very frugal and expect something back. But I applaud And I hated that I couldn't be there the other day. We were having a granddaughter, and Mother Bear over here wouldn't let me. She said, you could go, but you'll probably be exiled from the family if you do. So
Probably a good decision.
yeah. So anyway, I had to set priorities that day, but I so appreciate what you all have continued to do and will continue to do in the future. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Webb.
And I do apologize. My pesky day job, kept me from being. I want to talk a little bit about the plans, the county plans, and how much do you all have input in assisting them? Do they ask for assistance? Is there a uniform guideline? Are you involved? Are they adapting to best practices and agricultural trends? I think some counties do better than others. And how are they, the 5 year, do they change? Do they adapt? Should we be looking at some of that, or how best to help these counties do that? Some counties do good, some don't.
I'm just going to go ahead and let Bill launch on this subject matter because I know he wants to.
I can tell you that.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and just Bill, just launch. There you go.
Well, you're correct. That we mentioned earlier, comprehensive plan there gives them the roadmap on how they invest it. The process for that is working with the extension agent. As y'all are aware, county councils, made up of 9 members in statute, do not have bricks and mortar and staff, and so that's why the extension service is written into providing the support to the county council. So working in concert with the county council, the extension service or extension office, and our office. As you noticed, we attended 20-something county council meetings almost monthly, and part of the process of being there is helping them facilitate the county comprehensive plan. And a lot of the information is updated is going to be the most recent USDA census information as part of the business plan. And currently we have a lot of turnover in the extension service. I think about 30% of their extension agents are there less than 5 years. So, we make it imperative that in requesting the extension office to let us know when we're having the meetings, to be there, Senator Webb, and help the county councils, because you can only serve on a county council two-year terms for 4 years. Up into 2010, there was no term limit. So you had Representative McPherson, you recall, there was no term limits until 2010, and the General Assembly changed it. So there's a lot of education going on, and that's why, again, we asked that we get notified in advance about these county council meetings, be there and educate them on the history of the program, make sure they're aware of the county comprehensive plan if they're a new county council member and new extension agent, and then and also discuss the importance of evaluating any application they receive, how it aligns with their comprehensive plans. I mentioned earlier, if it doesn't line up, then they're probably not going to commit.
It's a mixture.
Yeah. I mean, they have an option to update the comprehensive plan, but I think 80 to 85% of the county funds gets invested in the KAPE program, County Agriculture Incentive Program, and so the Ag Development Board is annually evaluating what is part of the KAPE program as a way to incentivize producers to adopt best management practices. So we're doing that through the programs that the board funds or supports.
And another thing, Senator Webb, is our staff, we go to each of those meetings, and we ask them to give us a heads up, at least so we can plan. We only have so many staff, so sometimes some weeks it's hard to get staffed out of those meetings. But what you was asking, it's a mixture across Kentucky. It's a mixture of even in each region, basically. One thing that we're doing is we're bringing in new extension agents as they come into their new employment. A lot of those individuals, they know nothing about this program. They know nothing about the history. So we've been bringing them in. We started last year. We had 2 meetings last year where we brought them in Actually, one, we went out to the field and had a regional meeting. We had about 20.
Yeah, West Liberty.
We brought about 20 in from different counties, and then we brought another about 25 in. They came to. We invited them to the Department of Agriculture, had a meeting with them there. These are new agents coming in. We basically go over our program. We go over what they're responsible for, and then any questions or anything. We're going to do another one this year. I went to a meeting in Elizabethtown earlier this year. It was a new extension agent collective that came in. One of the extension agents that will be in charge of kind of helping with this program locally, he's from out of state. He came up to me and said, "What is this program? Never heard of it." And he's going into the seat where that's going to be responsible for kind of orchestrating there locally. So education is very important. Our office does a very good job. When our staff goes out to these meetings, most county agents and county councils, they depend on our staff, to answer questions, to kind of guide them. But it could be, certain areas it could be better. And those practices can be looked at a little bit more holistically. That's what we're trying to do, especially with this comprehensive plan that we just got through finishing up. I think we'll be able to take a lot of those suggestions and then try to implement those throughout the state. That's our plan.
Briefly, Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Sure.
I think this oversight committee needs to have some preface of that comprehensive plan before you all adopt it. I would ask that we be informed on that, and maybe at a meeting before you all do that, just to make sure, so we know where we are and where we're headed, and not maybe hold you to it verbatim, but certainly bullet point concept of top, what's changing or why it's changing before that's adopted. I would ask that, and then I would also do my regular, Eastern Kentucky projects. I mean, Clark County doesn't count to me. It's I-75. London doesn't count to me. It's I-75. But, again, the new members, the history of this, per capita counties that I represented, Lewis and Carter in the House, were two of the most impacted counties per population when the tobacco went off the board. So that was the intent of this, to share the love a little bit and help. And I don't know, again, I know Bill's been up there, and I know we've had this problem. I don't know if we're not getting applications. I don't know if we're not getting approvals, but something's got to give there. We've got to get more in East Kentucky. And when I say that, it's east of I-75 and outside the Golden Triangle, to use a tired cliche. But that's we got to keep focusing on that.
Absolutely. We'll on the first question, we'll probably have the report ready for you all next month. That's what we was planning on, because we're basically just getting it. We're trying to assimilate that. So we'll have the report. That's just recommendations from this third party vendor, and then in October, our boards are probably going to meet to start discussing that report, and then we'll keep y'all in the loop starting probably in October.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Thanks for hanging in there with us for questions. Appreciate your work. Look forward to seeing you next month. With that, no further business before the committee. Our next meeting is August 14th at 10:30 a.m. We are adjourned.